Hello, this is Timmy Black, and welcome once again to another episode of The Lives of Contemporary Artists. Now, artists, you'll be reassured to know, are just like everyone else. Sort of. I mean, they're petty. They love to trade in gossip and calumny. When you prick them, they bleed. When they get older, they suffer from lower back pain and tend to put on a few extra pounds. And when New Year's comes around, they too make all sorts of stupid resolutions they have every intention to fulfill, but little resolve to actually see them through. And you know, even me, Timmy Black, even I think it was 2004, even I bought into this empty ritual and I made a resolution. I resolved that year to quit smoking. Now, just to be clear, I don't smoke. I never have. So the odds that I would abide by my pledge were pretty good. And I'm proud to say that I kept my word I can safely say that in the resolution department, unlike everybody else, I am batting 1,000, and that is proof. I'm here to tell you that it can be done. It can be done. So I expect to see you all in the gym in April. You better be there. Okay. Anyway, knowing all about this frailty that we have, this frailty of our will and the relentless momentum of our promiscuous appetites, I sent out a collective email, a blast, if you will, to a group of about 200 artists. 200 of the most influential artists working today. And I asked them to contribute, and you might say, I asked them to contribute to my, what would you call it, my conceptual art piece. I don't know. Anyway, I asked this select group of artists to share with me what their New Year's resolution, what they were planning to resolve for 2025. Well, to be honest, it was actually my intern, Leslie, who did the email and followed up with a call. And she got in touch with all these people, and if you're not in her list, or my list, or her list, if you didn't make the top 200, please don't read anything into it. It wasn't a snipe. It was merely an oversight. And there's always next year. And don't worry about it, because really it's just me. It's just me, Timmy. It's just Timmy Black. It's just me. I'm not the select curatorial Bolshevik of the Whitney Biennial or anything like that. So just take it in stride. Anyway, the first artist who got back to me will be repaid the courtesy of their prompt response with top billing. Starting off with Raven River McKinley, the mercurial spoken word multimedia provocateur, an instigator, a galvanizing force fomenting riot, pre-Socratic dialectic, and interdisciplinary mayhem. I got that directly from the website. And it probably, well, certainly it rings, it has an element, it has truth to it, especially in light of the last show I saw in Williamsburg at Gilgamesh and Sea. It was very, very impressive. Raven River is a wordsmith, and the way they stretch meaning and metaphor beyond the apparent limits of demotic language is violently unheimlich. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm sure I mangled it, but I lifted that also directly from their website, so that too, whatever it means, sounds about right. Anyway, when I asked what their 2025 resolution was, Raven River was ready with a terrific answer. So terrific, I wrote it down, and I quote here, I wrote it down. Let's see. I wrote it down. Here it is. I'm going to read it. Quote, I will not submit to E. That's pretty good. I told you, artists are different. I mean, there's no cutting down on carbs and no not using the cell phone on Shabbos kind of thing. Just simply, I will not submit to E. But I had to ask, what the hell is that? What does that mean? Well, it turns out that the resolution is not as enigmatic as I presumed. You see, all River Raven meant was that none of their projected work for 2025 will include the letter E, which is admittedly hard to do for someone who relies on writing, on the spoken word. And then I look back at the resolution and sure enough, I will not submit to E. Well, yeah, you have the E at the end, but I will not submit doesn't have any E in it. So I thought that was impressive. But then I pointed out, I pointed out that the French writer George Perec already wrote a 250-page book with the exact same lipogrammatic constraint. And then when they heard that, they said something I rarely ever hear from artists these days, and I found it so refreshing. And here again, I'm going to quote verbatim. This is what they said. They said, "Oh, really? Wow. Wow. I did not know that. In that case, never mind." Wow. Such humility. It was stunning. And I think they were relieved. And they told me to get back to them later. Maybe they'd come up with another resolution. We never did. We didn't have time. But I thought that was really something. Leslie, I'm looking at my timer here. We're almost out of time.
I can see that.
Well, you worked so hard on this thing. We have to see it through. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I just run through the list? Why don't I just run through the list that you gave me, and I'll just read them off without any explanation. How's that? Does that work? Okay, let's do it that way. Let's see. Carbs, sugar, gym, carbs, weed, Italy, New York Marathon, sugar, carbs. Oh, great. Here we go. Thank you for this one. This is from one of my favorite artists, Daphna Euripides. I love her work. Let's see, Daphna. Daphna Euripides says that in 2025, she will visit every art gallery in Buffalo. Buffalo. I assume that's where she lives, or she teaches there, or she's from there. I don't know. It doesn't seem that difficult, to tell you the truth. Okay, let's see. Let me try another one. Benny Queso. Benny Queso is planning to double the number of followers he has on Threads. Well, that's pretty dumb. You'd expect something a little bit better from him, isn't he? Isn't he the anti-colonialism guy?
Isn't everyone?
Yeah, but he's the one that does it with rubber and concrete. I don't know. Remember that piece he did with the brooms made out of twigs? I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, next. Dahlia Danton is gonna learn how to swim. I mean, who doesn't know how to swim? Here. Kipa Fokage wants to gain 50 pounds and do a piece about how it feels to be fat. Wait, you can't. Can you say that?
Now you can say that.
I don't know how that's gonna. Okay. All right. Here's a good one. Spark Boone. Spark Boone is going to walk from Brooklyn to Camden, New Jersey. Isn't that near Philadelphia? That's got to be 100 miles from Brooklyn, right? He's going to walk. He's going to do that walk once a month, each time while wearing a different type of hat. Okay, now that's interesting. See, artists are different, I guess. That's an interesting one. Next, the sculptor. Chastity Finkelstein wants to give up chocolate and polyamorous relationships for 1 whole year and have the entire text of Borges' On Exactitude in Science tattooed on her thighs. Wow, but why give up chocolate? I mean, there's enough there. I know we're out of time. I know.
Timmy.
Okay, yes. Last one. And it's a good one. It's from David Schaffman, the Los Angeles painter. He writes, though never inclined to commit to anything, especially tuning my intentions to the Gregorian calendar. Now that's a nice turn of phrase, tuning my intentions to the Gregorian calendar. But since you asked so nicely and repeatedly about my New Year's resolution for 2025, I will tell you, and I will promise you, never, and I mean never again, will I listen to the lives of contemporary artists.